when I learned that they used a new OST for the Freedom panel, I was so disappointed. The Freedom scene was nothing like I imagined. I wish to wipe it all away. Okay, ignoring that cringe impression. Brown's Magic made a video about the. Well, she advertised it as in comparing the Joker to Aaron, so that's how I'm going to say it. I actually already watched this video. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to watch this video. I was supposed to react to it, so I've already seen this. She said to let her cook. I watched it, and trust me, don't get bored in the middle of the video. She's cooking something. Just stay with the video. Now, before we get into this, so this is, you know what? Oh, I already spoiled it. This is about the music in the Freedom scene. Now, I agree with her about this, but I want to make it very clear. Before I get into this, I have not fully formed an opinion yet. I said this over and over and over and over and over again. I will continue to stay until this fandom learns the lesson. I waited until October. I read chapter 134 in April. You could have easily finished the rest of that. I waited for months to get the official translation. Then I waited months after that to start my channel. Guys, patience is so important. I have not fully formed an opinion on this yet. I didn't like it when I first watched it. I didn't like it. I agree with Browns at this point. However, I've only seen the scene twice. And I haven't come to understand what the director is trying to do. So, just gonna say it right now. Just take my opinion with a grain of salt, and I am very much subject to change and sing a completely different tune. But that out of the way, we're gonna go into the sponsorship. Sponsored again by, well, be sponsored by Fudgy Bear. Again, if you have a young one or a little one or know a little one, maybe you have a cousin. I don't know. A lot of young viewers on my channel, but if you do, check out the baby formula. It is some of the best baby formula literally in the world. And the EU makes the best baby formula. And of the EU, Germany makes the best one. Ours is from Germany. Respect Requiem. Anyway, let's get into the video. So this is about the Freedom panel. Alright. A messed up Attack on Titan. And, you know, I made a... No, I'm not going to say that.
In the month of October 2019, GQ magazine interviewed the legendary Oscar award-winning Elton John, who was responsible for the success of The Lion King 1994 soundtrack. In this interview, he expressed his disappointment with the 2019 rehashing of
I love this so much. Me and Brown don't agree on a lot, but I am so happy someone's saying this as well. Music is a big part of a motion picture. If you're making a motion picture, the music is, it's not okay, maybe not a big part, but the music is definitely part of the experience, and it's definitely something you're going to want to have, and you're going to have good. And I criticize Breaking Down for this. My opinions again have changed and morphed a bit. I still generally feel like he needs more music. But I will never ever back down from this debate ever. And I know it's a completely worthless debate to get into, but I'm glad. I like the appeal to authority argument here. Yes, use Elton John, please, thank you. I mean, it's kind of a conflict of interest, but still, this is great. Thank you. Yes, the music is definitely a huge part of a motion picture. I don't want anyone saying anything otherwise. Listen to you.
Lion King, stating that, quote, they messed the music up, and, quote, the magic and joy were lost. Music is a crucial part of every story, be it a TV show or movie. A bad score can take a good story from a 10 to a 6. A good score can take a subpar story from a 6 to a 10. This is due to...
Okay, I disagree with that. Music, see, people... I think people have a very simple way of rating stuff. Music definitely elevates the show, for sure. I wouldn't say it makes it from a 6 to a 10. 40%, so music counts for 40%? That to me, no, I wouldn't say that. I would say from a 6 to a 6.5. I'd say it can make a painful scene an ugly cry scene. That's what I'll say. I wouldn't say, because the most important thing is the message. Second most important is how well is the message executed. Then it's your main character, right? And then it's the plot. Then it's the story and the tropes and the secondary characters. Yada. And then as you get down to that list, you get to symbolism and the music and the quality of the production. Yada 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 yada. So I wouldn't say 40% difference. I will say it's important though.
To the effect that music has on each of us. Music helps tell the story, and is just as
Well, she doesn't bring this up, and I know it's going to rewatch the video, but yeah, the other thing is that it tells the audience what to feel, which, actually, she's going to bring this up. Never mind, I'm going to let her cook. She does bring it out.
integral to it as the dialogue is, or the cinematography.
That's not my father. It's just my reflection. Look hard. You see, he lives in you. Father?
A good score says the thing without saying it. It supports the characters and transitions scenes, setting tones and moods, and conveying the appropriate feelings to the audience.
Hey! Where are you going?
I'm going back.
Good! Ah, get out of here!
Attack on Titan is a show that usually gets this right.
Hell yeah.
The score in Attack on Titan is one of the best I've seen in any anime. In fact, it's so iconic, if I showed you certain scenes on mute, if you've seen the show, you'd know exactly what song was playing during them. This is why I opened the video with something related to The Lion King, as I feel that this movie and the show Attack on Titan both are well known for their very effective scores. While Attack on Titan usually gets the music right, in the recent installment, Season 4, Part 3, one scene in particular fell flat in my opinion. Before I tell you which scene, let me show you a scene from something similar in tone that I feel gets the music right. It's a scene from The Joker 2019. What emotions did you feel watching that scene? This is the scene in the movie where Arthur Fleck has just been beaten up by a crowd of bullies. He then takes the train and is playing with an infant. Once the infant's mother notices this play, she swiftly reprimands Arthur and he has a laughing fit, to which he is ostracized on the train for doing so. Forgive me for not being the biggest music geek, but this sad, melancholic theme goes perfectly with the scenery and the context of what has led up to this point. Arthur Fleck has been jumped, robbed, and belittled, basically downtrodden his entire life, and this slow, somber music, along with his slow, miserable steps, work with the cinematography to show us a man alone in the world, miserable, forgotten. The camera starts at his small frame and then pans up to these stairs that are huge. It seems like he has a lot of stairs to climb from this perspective of the camera, showing us the type of uphill battle that Arthur Fleck's life has been to.
Just want to say, I see y'all on Twitter talking shit about Browns, which, I mean, I get it. Trust me, I get it. But, hey, these people saying Browns, definitely not Serenity. But these people are they're smarter than you think. She's definitely right here.
This point. And that uphill battle has many, many, many stairs, and he's on this journey all by himself. And the music perfectly encapsulates that. I have another scene for you. Hearing that music and seeing what you saw. This is Arthur Fleck's moment of triumph. This scene takes place after his scene on the subway where he kills the 3 Wall Street men and defends himself for the first time. Now you may notice this is the same exact theme, the Arthur theme, that plays in the beginning to show his sad, miserable, melancholic life. He takes his own theme back, and now the drums are added in. The drums create a sense of determination, a will to fight back. He owns his theme now. Yeah. This is an important character moment, and the music is letting you know that. The music is letting you feel that. Something shifted in this character. Something was accomplished here. This is the last video I'll show you before we move on to the Attack on Titan scene, where I felt the music didn't reflect a big moment in someone's character arc, nor did it convey that to the audience. Scene in The Joker where Arthur self-actualizes. The cinematography is gorgeous. In the first clip, the camera starts at Arthur and pans up to the weight of the world that he has to endure by himself. This time, it starts at the top of the stairs and pans down to him who has conquered this. The climb is over. He knows who he is and he is ready to fulfill what he set out to do. Throughout the seasons, Attack on Titan has never failed me in the music and score department. That is, up until season 4. I want to focus on one scene in particular.
Here's the thing: we got the tracks, and so we got Into the Night, which is not used. We got Friendships. We got a lot of stuff that was never used. So we're like, ooh, I can't wait to see this get used. And then and then on top of that, she just not that she had that banger in the trailer. And they're like, "Ooh, I can't wait to see this in the anime." And then March 4th comes along, or March 3rd, and then it's like, haha, no Into the Night, no ELO, and no trailer soundtrack. You get nothing, and then you get the freedom scene, which was, whoa.
Aaron's freedom scene.
Props to her for using the official translation. You know I appreciate that.
It is meshed within the music theme for the rumbling. The score is of despair and anguish, which perfectly suits the context of what's happening in the story. But Aaron's character moment is lost within. Just like in The Joker, 3 men lost their lives. So the music remains melancholic, but the drums are added to highlight that this is a character moment. Something was achieved here. With the freedom scene, it's not entirely clear if this scene is an inner monologue or a dialogue from Aaron to Armin, or both. But either way, it's safe to assume that Aaron is being truthful.
Interesting. That's a good point. I don't know how the music would make it any different, though. Because if it was triumphant, people would say it's a cope. If it's melancholic, people will say, "But what?" If it's melancholic, sorry. If it's Armin, it could be. If it's triumphant, it could be to Armin or to himself. People will say it's a cope for Armin. It can be melancholic, as it could be sad as if he's bastardizing a dream, and it can be sad as if Aaron feels sad about the rumbling, guilty about the rumbling. Or it's the irony of the situation. So, I don't exactly know how the music would help in that situation. If you're seeing this, Browns, can you clarify that? I don't know what you meant by that. But yeah, that's true. It's hard to tell whether he's talking to himself or to Armin, or if it's both.
And is expressing himself. He does view the rumbling either as freedom itself or as a means to freedom. So why is this character moment, the moment Aaron Yeager, the boy who's been chasing freedom for 10 years, why, when he finally obtains it, is the music stagnant?
Well, see, here's where me and Brown's disagreements come into play. It's because he doesn't achieve it. Which, I mean, and I understand they changed the eyes in the anime. Which, yeah, I understand that. However, his eyes are still shaded in 133, and he's a kid in 133, which is, and of course he frowns after. I mean, again, I'm not going to argue facial expressions. I've never done that. It's a stupid thing to argue about. If you don't see a frown, okay, okay then. I see a frown. His eyes are shaded in 133. So I mean, and of course Armin asked him, I mean, all the little subtle clues that were there in the manga are there in the anime. He asked him how exactly you're free. His eyes are closed to the child. Blah blah. The reason why it's melancholic is, I mean, again, I still don't like it. I see watching this video, it did the opposite. I actually kind of understand more now of why the scene was the way it is. Funny enough, I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. but it actually makes me understand it more because it's a character moment, but it's a character moment in the sense that this is Aaron reaching. I mean, 133 is really the event horizon. This is Aaron at his lowest. This is the zenith of his negative character arc because Aaron has instead of characters usually have like a positive character arc. Take Steve from Stranger Things. I like to use that example, or Iron Man from Marvel. Another good example of a positive character arc. Aaron has a negative character arc, so it gets worse and worse over time. Like Wolf. So this is the zenith of his, which is kind of a strange word to use because it's like the climax. You say, I don't really know what to say. The pitfall, the deepest. I don't know. It's called the deepest there. The deepest. The zenith of his negative character arc, right? I mean, from there he grows, you could say. Anyway, making this very complicated. Let me just make this very simple. So he starts from here. He's a good little 8-year-old. Goes down to 131 and then goes up and from 131 onward as he grows as a person from 131 onward. Sort of again to simplify it. So he's at the worst he is in 131. He just got done telling Ray these true intentions, and now he's bastardizing his own dream, as he said in Shigansha, but more importantly Armin's dream. Right. And another thing is that he says this is a site we reached, and it's the death of destruction and then layered on top of the clouds, which is so brilliant because not only is it reinforcing the vision that Aaron wants, the rumbling for the death that it will cause. Again, I'm simplifying. I'm not going to go into that. His goals, his intentions are evil at heart. So he has the death of destruction, layered with the clouds of ignorance, which he said that he didn't. He refers to removing from ignorance. We have that. Which wasn't in the anime. Thanks a lot, Nappa. But still, so we have that sort of thing. But he does say those walls were around me as he makes the Titan walls for himself. So it's this very ironic scene where Aaron has sought freedom to the point so intensely to the point where he's actually made himself the most unfree he's ever been. Which is why I really appreciate the 131 panel. I don't know why Nappa changed it. I give it to AOE bros. I clown you guys a lot. And a lot of people calling you for the eyes thing too. That is legit copium. That's real. That's not an artistic choice. That's not stupid. That is real. Anyway, so rather long spiel. Summarizing it simply, this character moment is a deeply ironic and bad moment for Aaron, where Aaron, I wouldn't say he deludes himself, but he's at the point where he's the most unfree he's ever been in his life due to his own actions, which is hilarious.
Dull, unchanging. Where is the crescendo?
I mean, I can't even argue with that because I even see me. I wanted Elo. And I'll explain why now. Actually, I wanted Elo. The reason I wanted Elo is it was great. So we have. And here's the thing. Like here's the thing. This is why I hate Twitter so much. I saw the leaks. They said we're using a new OST for the Freedom Panel, and that is when I deleted my social media because I was like, okay, I'm tired of hearing leaks. Because not only was it a leak that I didn't want to hear, it was a leak that was negative. I was like, okay, I want to hear this. The reason why I was negative is because I wanted the circular storytelling aspect. We had the circular storytelling in the episode prior, Dawn of Humanity. We had the shot speed match when Reiner invaded parody, right? We had the shot speed match with the Colossal Titans invading Marley. Reiner invaded parody. We had the shots matched. We had, I don't know how, Attack on Titan TSV or whatever the hell it is. That soundtrack, which is a soundtrack we heard a lot over and over again, and then this game played again. It's like, oh, it's the finale to Circle Storytelling, right? So then it would be. I was like, oh, excellent! The very next chapter, 131, we're gonna have Elo. It's Attack on Titan in a minor key, so it's sad, it's perfect. It's like almost like a bastardized, perverted version of Attack on Titan. It's like a triumphant soundtrack. This is a very melancholic soundtrack, so it's going down, 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 and down. Right, so I thought, oh, this is gonna be great, and then I thought, never mind. I think she pronounces it here. I don't know how to pronounce it. Vogelenfag, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. That's how I'm gonna say it. That song, "Burn the Cage." I was like, okay, we're probably gonna have to have this scene in it because the lyrics. See, the thing with the Attack on Titan TSV is that the lyrics match the song. That's another thing. The lyrics match the song. Just off the top of my head, the ground shakes, the sky turns red, blah 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 blah. So Mappa, they have a sky turned red, the ground was shaking, obviously. So it was like, okay, this song was made for the rumbling. So we're hearing this song over and over again in season 1. Little do we know we're hearing the theme of the rumbling. Light bulbs go off, we're all happy, we're all excited, ACM is mastermind, blah, 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 Hayashi, blah, 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 blah. And then we go to this vocal infect, whatever it's called. It's the song playing. When Aaron dies, we hear it all the time. The lyrics match perfectly to the freedom scene because it's saying about burning age and it's about Aaron being free. And this is the freedom panel. We got Peak Harry. Okay, great. And then I hear a new freaking OST. So I'm like, okay, great. No circular storytelling. Excellent. That's just out the window. No sense of finality. No nostalgia. No secret. I don't know what to call that, but when you hear the song, you're secretly hearing the rumbling thing. That thing I described. I don't know what you call that. None of that. So I delete my social media. Anyway, so I wanted one of those 2 songs. They get a new OST. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish here. I mean, I do know what they're trying to accomplish, but I didn't like it at all. And although it is supposed to be a ironic and sad scene for literally everyone involved, because no one is benefiting. I mean, I guess parody is, but Aaron's unhappy in this. The people being rumbled are happy, and the Alliance are happy. So this is a sad scene overall. There still could be a crescendo. So I don't know. Again, I'm gonna watch this freedom scene again and again. I'm gonna try to put my mind into the shoes of the director. I'm gonna try to see what they're trying to do. Maybe I still won't like it. Maybe I still will. I don't know. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
YouTuber Santa Chief overlaid music of his choice to the scene, and it actually gave me goosebumps. That's more than I can say for the actual episode that I was watching. And this fact alone is what inspired this video.
Let's see. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. That's how I would do it. Yeah. That's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. Yeah. If I could choose, that's how I would do it.
Also, I really gotta say this. This is what really Earth means. Like the circumference of the Earth is not here. And the shot again. I just have to say it. You know, I like the shot of the upper body better, and the circumference of the Earth I like to see. Small nitpick. I know. I just had to say it.
But some people don't have that interpretation. Yeah.
That's not a frown.
That's how I would do it.
Why is Aaron's triumph, this monumental character moment, reaching his version of freedom?
I'm gonna put that on again just to give context. Let's see.
It's safe to assume that Aaron rumbled his character for 6. Oh, unchanging.
Where is it? Oh, here it is.
4. I want to focus on one scene in
見たものはこの世で一番の自由を手に入れたものこれが自由だ
4. I want to
Okay, and the thing that I didn't like about it was it felt simple. We had these masterpieces that were made by Swano and Yogo Moto. I forgot his name. Sorry, but the other guy. We have masterpieces that were complex and were layered. I mean, I am not a music guy in the slightest, like not even a little bit. But even I could tell this is like complex. This just felt simple. However, the ending of the track. It's kind of growing on me. Let me watch that again.
これがこの世で一番の自由を手に入れたものこれが自由だ
It does get that feeling that it's supposed to be this perverted version of freedom, which, I mean, it is. It is. And the thing that always confused me, and I'm going to try to save, because I have a whole thing on 131 that I'm going to try to save for my character analysis, which, by the way, you're going to want to see, was that it was weird to me that he did when I first read this, it was weird to me that he did the Freedom scene at this particular moment in time, because he had the Founding Titan in 123, right? He had, the power. He had all the power then. He continued to have the power later and later and later. What's funny is that, again, he does the Freedom scene comes directly after his confession to Ramsey. So I forget his true intentions. So there's that to think about. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again, I'll think about it more, but I have to agree with Browns on this one. I mean, it's simple. There's no crescendo. I mean, again, maybe the pull away is good. Maybe the fading out is good. It's weird, but she has some more criticism that I thought was valid as well.
Arc enough to allow them to have their audience character momentum overridden.
That's how I would do it.
Why is Aaron's triumph, this monumental character moment, reaching his version of freedom, overridden, overshadowed by the rumbling? His character moment is pushed to the background. As an author, you have to trust your audience to understand that what your villainous character is doing is wrong, while also respecting the character arc enough to allow them to have their character moment, villain or hero.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be about his character and not the rumbling. Again, I don't know. I mean, or just drawing interpretations of what we see. It's like how she went to us and said, this is about the rumbling, not about Aaron. Aaron's in the back burner. She's assuming that she could be right, she could be wrong. I don't know. I'm assuming it's about Aaron's character. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Hero. In the same episode, Hanji is allowed to have her character moment. Hanji is allowed to have her moment, but Aaron is not. Hanji receives a
Well, I mean, as I said beforehand, listen, the Alliance, as I said, the Alliance, they're not supposed to be... Especially, and it was funny. I had a big old smile on my face thinking about all the people in AOR that went after me. I had when Armin was talking to Andy. I was like, this is hilarious, bro. Because I said over and over again, the Alliance are not good people at all. They're all evil. They're all war criminals. Blah 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 blah. We already know this. But the Hanji thing, okay, guys. Look, I understand you're Indian hater, Jaegerist. I understand that. However, the Hanji thing was as an actual genuine sacrifice for something that was supposed to be, the right thing. I hate to say that, but it's supposed to be the right thing to do was to stop the rumbling. And she was making a genuine sacrifice. So she gets to triumphant music. There's a lot. This is why it's one of the greatest scenes, because it's so complex and so layered. And it's, as I said, the peak of Aaron's negative character arc, which is the peak of his arc. Whatever. This is a perversion, and one of many things, this is a perversion of the concept of freedom, which is why I believe it's like this. So I would say there's a difference between the two scenes. And St. Chief said it, not everyone interprets it that way. So, if you interpret it as him, being a conquering war hero, conquering the world, achieving his freedom, doing what's good for the country, this makes no freaking sense. But if you interpret it like how I and many other people do, as this perversion, this bastardization of freedom, Aaron as Lois, yada yada yada, then this sort of makes sense. So,
she receives a switch of music, a switch of OST. Aaron is.
Well, that's the other thing I'm saying. I don't entirely know if the OST didn't switch for Aaron, because she's saying, okay, it's melancholic, it's sad, it's for the rumbling. Aaron's saying it's good and triumphant, so a good track should be for the rumbling. I am of the opinion that the track is for Aaron, and the rumbling is just it's again to show that this is what he wants. Essentially, is to kill people. Don't take it out of context. I have so many videos on this. Don't harass me. I'm gonna just explain this multiple times. But in short, this is what he wants to do, right? So I don't know. I think the music did switch for Aaron, and it didn't switch to the rumbling and then not switch to Aaron. That's what I think happened. That's what I think happened. And again, I don't know.
Is not afforded that same respect. It's almost as if their thought process was, Just in case the music swelling accidentally convinces you that Aaron is the good guy or worldwide omnicide is good, the score stays the exact same. Despair, despair, despair. Where is the acknowledgement that Aaron has just reached a pivotal character milestone? The boy who sought freedom finally achieves his version of freedom, and there is nothing in the score to reflect how important that is. Nuance is everything. Trust.
Okay, that's the word I want to use. Irreversible. Right? The way that this track ends, it sounds as if it's conveying that what has just been done cannot be walked back. Not the rumbling, again, what Aaron has done to himself. He's reached an event horizon. He implies this to Ramsey, and he explicitly says, well, he's explicit, they're all implied. Okay, you know what? Sorry, let me do this way. He implies an event horizon with Ramsey. He explicitly says an event horizon in 133. He implies his motives in 133. He explicitly says motives in 131. If that made sense to you, great. Basically what I'm saying here, if you didn't understand that, basically what I'm saying here is this is something that Aaron, this is the point where, as I said beforehand, when we say Aaron's enslaved to his nature, it means he can't control his nature to strive for freedom, yada, yada, yada. One who lacks self-control is not free. So being enslaved to one's nature is obviously something we all recognize, otherwise we don't recognize the concept of self-control. This is the point where Aaron loses the ability to have self-control, so to speak. Again, I'll tell you more my Aaron character analysis, but for now, that's all you need to know. But let's look at this again.
これが自由だ
Yeah, again, it still irks me. I don't like it that much. But that could be what it's trying to do. Again, I'm thinking as I'm going here. Again, I'm not usually like this. This is why I wait to make my videos. But if you want to interact with this, I am.
Your audience is everything. Respecting your character's arcs is everything. About Aaron's freedom scene, I don't like it. I think it's weak. I felt nothing when he said freedom because the score didn't allow me to perceive it as an accomplishment.
Same. All right, so that is the video. Thank you for watching, everyone. And I haven't said so well, but make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.